Chuck Fletcher's out of a job. So Minnesota ownership's decided to move on from the general manager. I don't think this will affect the coach. And I think I can see sort of where Chuck Fletcher's job may have been lost. Alex Tuch and Erik Haula in Vegas may very well be the reason why Chuck Fletcher isn't coming back. The Minnesota Wild, when he took over, were a middling team. They missed the playoffs the first couple years that he was the GM. He brings in Mike Yeo to make the playoffs. And now Bruce Boudreau's the coach. Again, I don't think Boudreau's going to get any flack from this, and I don't think he's going to get blame. But where this is going for Minnesota is interesting to me, because I think Chuck Fletcher did a decent job. And at the time, last summer, when the decision was made to give up Tuch and Haula in order to keep Matt Dumba on the roster, there were Wild fans who said, absolutely, if that's the price you have to pay in order to keep that blue line together and not lose a guy like a Brodin or a Dumba, absolutely. Tuch didn't look that good for us anyways. Haula's just a 15-20 goal guy. Nobody had a clue what was going to happen. Everybody thought Fletcher did the right thing. But ownership may very well be looking at where Vegas is and looking where Minnesota is and saying, wait a minute, how did they hose you? How did this happen? Why is it we got outscored by the Winnipeg Jets? Why didn't we have that forward depth the Jets have? Why did we give that up? What else did we give up this year? So, Fletcher's out of a job. Again, I haven't heard anything about Boudreau. All I've heard is that Fletcher's gone. The Minnesota Wild looking in another direction. And the ironic part being that this morning, before this came out, I'm wearing a Minnesota Wild jersey for the previews because, of course, the Wild are out of the playoffs, so I can wear their jerseys for preview and review videos and not worry about jinxing anybody. And then he loses his job. So, maybe it's still a jinx somehow. But either way, Chuck Fletcher will land on his feet. I think he's going to get another job. Something tells me he'll end up as a GM somewhere else. Carolina's hiring, although I would think that may be a situation Fletcher wouldn't necessarily like, because Tom Dundon wants direct control over a lot of things, and there are certain GMs that wouldn't accept that. They would say, yeah, I need a job, but I want to have autonomy. I want to be able to just do my job and not worry about a GM coming in or an owner coming in and being the GM in my place. So we'll see what happens with Fletcher from here. He did a good job in Minnesota. If you can keep your team in the playoffs, you're doing a good job. And last summer, like I said, I didn't hear a whole lot of complaints about Tuch being gone and Haula being gone in order to keep Dumba. And I still think if you went back and redid that expansion draft and instead Minnesota had lost Matt Dumba and kept Haula and Tuch, I don't know that we're in a different place right now. I think there'd be a lot of complaints about losing Matt Dumba, and I think Dumba would have been fantastic in Vegas. And there would have been Minnesota Wild fans screaming, why didn't we do more to keep him? Look how good he is in Vegas. So, again, there are owners looking right now at what a brand new team did and saying, why are they in the second round and we're out? Either out of the playoffs or out in the first round. So we'll see how much turnover happens during the summer. But for right now, this is I'm thinking second GM if you include Francis. Francis was technically still during the season. And we'll see if any more chips fall. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How do you feel as a Minnesota Wild fan right now? Because right up until mid-season, right up till late in the season, a lot of Wild fans seem to be talking about how solid a job Chuck Fletcher's done with the Minnesota Wild. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.